Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast. It's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic. You can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no!
Oh! Welcome back.
That's how I felt today. Oh, man.
Oh.
So many sound problems. So little time.
But we're back, and we're here.
We are back. We are here. Let me get us on the screen. There we go.
Ugh.
There you are.
Hello.
Hello.
Was ist das?
Das? What about das?
Was ist das?
Das. I had to learn das 20 years ago. Nobody uses it
anymore. What are we doing? Welcome to Moviesucktastic, where everything's always a little off the rails. We are currently reviewing films of the year 1975, and tonight we'll be reviewing the Yul Brynner film, The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior. Oh, wait, that's the wrong Ultimate Warrior.
That's what comes up if you try to find this movie on IMDb.
If you don't put 1975 in there, you get a whole bunch of WWE, WWF Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
It came up so much, I threw one picture of him in the slideshow. Because I had to.
You have to.
I had to. Oh, my God. So, super duper quick. I should get like a soundbite just to do the format. We are going year to year from Scott's birth of 1973 until we go to present day, however long that's going to take. And the way the challenges work now, we changed the format a bit, is we will challenge each other based on the current year that we're in. So, for instance, we're in 1975. I challenge Scott to the Ultimate Warrior. If Scott feels that we're done in 1975, he'll move us to 1976 with a new challenge. Yeah, I figured. 1975, there's probably 3 to 5 more movies we could realistically do before moving on.
Yeah.
Although I do feel that 1975 is a weak year.
It is. There's just a lot of movies.
There's a lot of futuristic, post-apocalyptic type movies, too.
Well, again, it's your grindhouse audience, just
the year 1975 genre alone, it just kind of, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's this. We already did Death Race 2000. There's at least 2 more. I haven't even really looked yet, but I know there's at least 2 more post-apocalyptic futuristic films.
Oh, easily. I
almost challenged one to you last week, but I went with this instead.
Yeah.
You
Boy
have
and His Dog.
Boy and His Dog, Rollerball. That's just 2 films right there, and I know there's more than that. So, Anyway, you have a challenge for me for later, right?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes, it means I'm still iffy on what I'm going to challenge you to.
Oh,
but
so you have choices. You just haven't narrowed them down.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I got a couple different ways we can go.
Oh.
I think I know what I'm doing, but I mean, I just...
Okay. All right. Kind of thinking it won't be post-apocalyptic because we've done like 2 of those in the last 3-4 weeks.
No, so. we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna shift gears.
Good. I would like that. I would like that. All right. So we're back on a regular schedule again, which is good. Like next week we'll be recording again, but then the following week is Thanksgiving. So unless we record a day early, like on Wednesday, there won't be a show because obviously it's Thanksgiving. So, but we'll see. We'll talk about that. Oh, what? What's that face?
Nothing. No, nothing.
I need to know now. Everyone needs to know.
Challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've made the decision already?
It depends if it's available.
Okay. Okay. You could always check YouTube to see if someone has posted the full film there.
That'll be my last ditch.
That's always a good backup.
Yeah, I'm ready to go in with the Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, sorry. Again, I can't help it.
Ooh, gives me chills when you do that.
I could do it again.
No, please don't.
Don't? Okay.
I don't know if I can handle it again.
Warrior. So anyway, this is a post-apocalyptic film. Society as we know it has been destroyed by some sort of plague, virus, whatever, to the point of where it has even destroyed crops.
We know there was a plague that was destroying crops. We know that much.
Right. So Max von Sydow, the Baron, his colony, they're trying to survive, and they have someone in their group that is actually a very accomplished, he's a botanist, basically. I don't know. They don't explain if that's what he did before the apocalypse, but apparently he's very good at growing plants, vegetables, you name it, to the point of where he has solved the issue of the crops being destroyed by this plague, and his are immune. And we'll get into that later because, man, the other side, the opposing side, man, are they stupid.
Well, according to Max von Sydow, Carrot is a great strategist.
Yes, sure he is. Carrot. Did he come up with his own villain name? Because it's lame. Carrot. Why? Because he's got red hair. What an ass.
His guys call him that, so it's apparently it's allowed.
How could you take him seriously? He's like the main villain. He's the bad guy from.
And that actor.
Not the bad guy, but he's the guy that fought Clint Eastwood in Any Which Way But Loose.
I think it's You Can. Any Which Way You Can.
Any Which Way You Can? Okay.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah, he was the guy that's Clint Eastwood fought. Like, it was like the main event.
Mm-hmm. That's right where I recognized him from when I see him, too.
Yeah, I saw him immediately. I'm like, that's that guy.
So I have to agree with you that they purposely keep the cause of the apocalypse kind of unsaid. Yeah, they just talk, they mention circumstances that happened around it and everything, but they never really say like what happened. But they kind of play on the idea that it was a slow burn apocalypse. It wasn't just like a bomb drop or anything.
Right.
Right. So, but like the state things are in makes you wonder if that really makes sense.
It really kind of doesn't.
There's one scene later when we get to the last third of the film where I'll bring up which I thought was a cool scene, but I also thought like it doesn't jibe with your explanation of what happened.
Right.
But so you have the Barons and the Carrot Crew, and they're two warring gangs. This is established in the opening when Carrot's crew kills some baronets that are
They're trying to catch
baronesses.
Baroners.
They're catching pigeons to eat. Yeah.
And
Baronistas?
This is the wrong profession, but so yeah, they've caught some pigeons to eat. They come in before they're even done catching these pigeons, like just dumb shits. Like, what's funny is Yul Brynner is the ultimate warrior, but what he really is not as stupid and slow as all these people in the apocalypse.
He's the guy with the knife.
He's the guy with the... Somebody did like a comic book drawing of him with the fucking knife behind his back. I had to throw it in the slideshow.
It's these two factions are watching Yul Brynner's character, Carson, because he comes in the middle of the city and just stands there silent for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, and I think last week I had said I thought he was like standing on a rock or something, but it was like a platform or like it was like an empty oil tanker or some shit like that.
Something.
Yeah. But I very vividly remember that scene where he's just standing there, like staring out into space. But in this instance, he had his eyes closed for 2 straight days. Like, what does that accomplish?
Now, I'm going to say right now, the main problem with this character, and I feel like there was some fucking with the script at some point, because when you start a film with a guy who just stands in the middle of the city and ignores everything around him for 2 solid days, and then suddenly decides to help somebody else,
right?
I really feel like they were going for kind of a like a man with no name type character.
Sure. Yeah, I could totally see that. But I think,
right, and really maybe more along maybe a better example would be like Outlaw Josie Wales, where like he's not really friendly to people, but they still follow him and he still ends up doing the right thing. But he's not a hero type character. He's like an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, sure.
Right, and I feel like what happened is that they wrote the film like that, and then somebody somewhere said, "Okay, but we don't want Yul Brynner's character to be unlikable." So he doesn't really do anything like that. And what happens is Yul Brynner's character throughout this, Carlson, the ultimate warrior, if you will, it really is just a rational, soft-spoken, shrewd, capable person, and boring as shit.
But he has a knife.
Right, I mean, like the basic setup you get is like first he does this 2-day thing. You're like, wow, this guy's psycho, and then he says, "Oh, I took the job because you said you had cigars." Oh, this guy's an asshole. And then everything else he does is, "Oh, this is the man that would save everybody if he could." And there's like 2 or 3 parts like that, or like at the end where he's like I've never felt that way about a man dying till I saw him. Then why are you helping these people out? What do you give a shit? I mean, it's just he. I feel like those scenes were left because they were cool, but then anything else to actually portray this character as self-serving, they totally removed any kind of character arc. Carson,
you see what you see is what you get. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it doesn't change. He stays level the entire film, as does everybody else, with the exception of maybe Max von Sydow's right-hand man that becomes his right-hand man at the end.
Yeah.
He's the only one that really has a character shift that means something, and that's the main reason this film, despite it being a post-apocalyptic battle for the future of the world, kind of dull.
Quite dull.
Sorry, I went a little rant there, but
no.
I mean,
I dig your rants. No, they say he's approached by other people from other areas. I'm assuming they meant outside of the Carrot Gang. But
there appears to be random people everywhere.
Yeah.
Hiding, waiting to attack you. So it's not just Carrot's gang.
So the fact that he's just standing there, I mean, they could have. There was a dude with a crossbow. could have just totally taken him out and ate some Yul Brynner.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently they're starting to eat people in this post-apocalyptic future because they're running out of food.
Yes, I've heard about those circumstances.
Yes, I've heard them. They were just rumors. It's like, so if you got a botanist or someone that knows how to plant stuff, you want to make sure they stick around for a while.
You're right.
Or at least show you what they know.
And that whole point there about the cannibalism, like Max von Sydow's character and Carson's character gel immediately, and they both have the same demeanor, and they're both intelligent and rational. So there's nothing out of their scenes together except exposition. Yeah. Like that whole thing's like, they're starting to eat each other out there. And he's like, yeah, I've heard about that. It's like, well, how about like, holy shit, you're kidding me?
It's like, I know.
Like, or just like I don't want to talk about it, or anything outside of all they got going for Max von Sydow's character is that he's trying to save his grandson. By the way, the actress that is playing his daughter is 11 years younger than him.
I saw that, and I'm like, there's no way she's his fucking daughter. It's like I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up, and I knew that they were close in age.
I thought it was his wife.
In the beginning,
at first. In the beginning, yeah.
In the beginning, I was just like, oh, okay. It would have been more believable if the woman with the child that was looking for the powdered milk or the milk pellets, if they said she was his daughter, that would have been more believable.
Oh, did we mention that this takes place in the year 2012?
We mentioned it last week, but we haven't mentioned it this episode yet. Yes,
right.
It's 2012. It's a film of the future, by the way. That's what it says. That's a tagline that's on the poster. A film of the future.
Way to give away the ending. I mean, I also don't like post-apocalyptic films that end on a positive note. That's just bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
And I
watch Threads instead, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Max knew how to handle it.
Yeah, true.
Road Warrior. All right, we can all forget about Thunderdome since Fury Road came out. And then that was my big problem with Fury Road. Shouldn't have a happy ending.
It wasn't.
They all should have died before they got to the city. He was the only survivor. He continues on. Then ended. Don't fucking save the day. What kind of post-apocalyptic film is this?
Listen.
Fuck that.
You had a big problem with the ending. Me, not so much.
Yes. Even the hero spotted in the crowd before he fades in anonymity.
Anonymity?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, what the fuck?
Hey, don't go ruining my birthday. Scott I said, don't go ruining my birthday. Scott, Holly, Mare, they all took me to see that. They took me to dinner first, and then they took me to see that for my birthday. And Scott couldn't hold back. He didn't care if it was my birthday. He complained about the ending anyway.
I said it was a great film. I love the film.
Yeah, the film is fantastic.
Just a suckballs ending. By the way, real quick, one of my coworkers.
It ain't law-abiding citizen ending. So.
What?
I said it ain't law-abiding citizen as an ending. That's a great movie, and that ending ruins the whole movie. So
I'm going to continue the story I just started and say that my 15-year younger coworker just saw Law-Abiding Citizen last week.
Oh. Wow.
And he said...
That was... I didn't mean to segue that, but let's go.
I know. That's why I was like, okay, thank you, Joey. But no, he came up, and he's like, yeah, I didn't care for it. It's like, because of the ending, isn't it? He's like, yeah, it is because of the ending. It's like, he didn't even know why he didn't like it. He was like trying to put his finger on it. It's like, the ending sucked. And it was like, we walked through the whole thing. It's like, yeah, that was a horrible ending. Thank you.
That is a great film. It's like, tell me again why I'm not supposed to root for this guy? Please, explain it to me in detail why I'm not supposed to, because the impression that I'm getting this entire time, because of the way you've directed and the way you've portrayed this character, is that I should be rooting for this person.
Thank you for, intermission is over. Come back for the second half of Law-Abiding Citizen. By the way, now you're supposed to like Jamie Foxx. Continue. What?
What happened?
What was that? What the fuck was that?
That literally was like, okay, by the way, this is the last 30 seconds of the movie, 60 seconds. Jamie Foxx is your guy. Go.
Yeah.
Like, no. I like everything that Gerard Butler's been doing.
Yeah. So Ultimate Warrior fails on that as for a post-apocalyptic film too, as far as having a hopeful ending. It's not 100% positive, but it's hopeful.
Right.
And I don't want hope in my apocalypse.
No, I agree.
No. Stop that shit.
So, to get back to the film, as far as the main plot, or what you can kind of gather as the main plot, Max von Sydow goes out to recruit Yul Brynner, or Carson, that his character, to his community, because, as Max von Sydow says, they need somebody like him. They don't have any warriors, and he's a natural-born leader, natural-born warrior. And they
can tell that because he's been standing in the same spot for 2 days.
Yeah, because Max von Sydow basically says, listen, I'm assuming since you're here for the last 2 days and you haven't moved, you're taking offers. And he basically says, here's my offer. And then he offers him like 2 extra portions of food at every meal, a dry room without rats, and, all this, food and tobacco and whatever. Yul Brynner doesn't even flinch, and he says, well, he goes, I believe that's everything I can offer you. Max von Sydow walks away. They get jumped by these post-apocalyptic riffraff. Yul Brynner comes to save the day.
Unaffiliated post-apocalyptic scoundrels.
Yeah, so Yul Brynner comes to save the day, and Max von Sydow basically, by the end of that scene, says, I will show you where to go. Follow me.
And now, and this fight sequence brings out the first problem with me. With the whole point of him being the Ultimate Warrior is that, yeah, he's pretty good at fighting, but he's also the only guy with a knife.
Yeah, nobody has anything that they could fight this guy with. Machete.
They've all got blunt weapons. Yeah, they got like wrenches and stuff. And he's like, aha! You should have brought a knife. Slice, stab, poke.
How about some of the
every single scene is like, oh.
How about some of the?
There's like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how about some of the faces he's making during these fight scenes? There's one face that Yul Brynner is making where I feel like he's doing his best Bruce Lee impersonation. He's just he's making a face during one fight scene where it's just like, come on, let's do this. It's just it's just like, Jesus Christ.
But Bruce Lee never pulled a blade.
He didn't need to. Yul Brynner, it's the knife of the future.
It's like, it's like the second fight where, all right, so this is the part that gets me a little bit. So there's a side story about a couple that has a kid that's hungry because they can't get enough milk for it,
right?
And the wife is, shall we say, fucking crazy. So while the husband's away, she takes the baby with her into the wasteland to try to find milk. And
by the way, real quick before you continue, as someone who has raised 2 children, bottle fed, and
here we go.
That fucking kid is too old for a bottle.
Oh, that's where you're going with this.
Yes.
Not I would have got milk. I would have braid. You were like, no.
It's the apocalypse. I'm not worried about it. It's a fucking apocalypse, dude.
You know what? Fucking cry. I don't care.
That kid should be on solid fucking foods, and they should not be searching for a fucking bottle. That's all I'm going with that. That kid, not for anything, but people get yelled at for giving kids that old a bottle. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? That kid's going to go to grammar school with a bottle in its mouth. Stop it. No, that kid was way too old for a bottle.
These are just post-apocalyptic riffraff. They don't know any better.
Is that what it is? No, basically that is. It's like, we couldn't find a baby young enough for this scene, so we're using a 2-year-old.
Thank God they don't have like a 4-month-old on set. Jesus. Keep that thing at home.
Wow. I mean, they do it the right way now.
You barely see the kid anyway. They could have said he was like new.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like long story short, they get killed. And Carrot, they find the baby because they hit it in like a dumbwaiter. And Carrot, there's a meaningful pause, and Carrot says, "Make for good bait."
Yeah,
and then he
was like, "It's really good bait."
Right. Okay. You get so, and then the idea is, so they let the baby cry, and it's going to draw them into it. Okay.
Yep.
That's a good strategist. So here's if I was doing that though, I would have people in the inside of the building waiting to ambush whoever came for the baby. But they don't do that.
No,
they just
don't.
leave the baby and like go across the street or something. So Yul Brynner has enough time to go through like a mini emotional moment when he finds out the baby's dead before they run in single file and attack him with torches. Guess what? He's still got a knife.
Yeah, and how did that baby die? How did that baby die? By the way,
probably just died as exposure, what have you. Maybe the lady that had it crushed it. And I did like the part possible. Though where the old crazy lady's like it's dead and she's holding it. Yul Brynner reaches for it, she shrinks back, and he just kind of pauses like, this is too fucking weird for me, man. This is too fucking weird.
That's right.
They could have played a bit more on that, but even someone as hardened as he's supposed to be from the wasteland, a dead baby, and all of a sudden you're like getting squeamish. Come on, guy. It's too likable, too much of a regular guy. He's supposed to be hard as fucking nails. Nah, he just, you brought torches to a knife fight, eh? Slick, 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 slick. And then when he runs, when he runs away, he drops the bell on the crossbow guy.
Oh yeah.
And no one else picks up his crossbow. So, oh no, that was his.
No, it's his. I don't even know how to use this thing. So
that's.
You know what? You got a torch? I'll take a torch. Thanks.
We don't loot. We loot clothing off the dead, but not weapons.
No. What are you drinking there tonight? That looks like beer.
Oh, it's a Leinenkugel. Leinenkugel.
Summer
berry
shanty?
Weiss.
Oh, okay. I like those. I like the Leinenkugels.
Yeah, they make the lemon one. It tastes like lemonade. Very nice.
Yes. And they have a summer shandy beer, which is
summer shandy is good.
It's refreshing.
I like.
It's refreshing. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just and so they're seeds.
There are
they
seeds.
Have seeds. They've created seeds, and I hate with a passion. It just kills me every time I watch a post-apocalyptic film, and the hope, the ray of hope for the future is a fucking handful of seeds. I've seen my fill of these films where we can grow something in the future. No, you can't. Everybody's fucking dead. It's not going to happen. Die. I hate the seed thing. The minute he's like, they keep closing up on the seeds, like, oh, fuck. It gives me agita. See, that's what agita. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's seeds, but then the seed guy gets killed.
They do it a lot.
Now,
the seed thing. And you know why they do it, though, right? Well, okay.
It's an objective correlative.
Yes, exactly.
The seeds, seeds symbolize hope, etc. I know.
Yeah. That's the only reason why they keep doing it.
Still annoying.
It even annoys me when they do it in video games, even though it's more acceptable. Because it's a fucking video game. But
now Max von Sydow, the Baron, has a master plan to save his pregnant daughter. I need you to take her through the subway station all the way out of the city.
First Yul Brynner and Max von Sydow have a conversation because they have a verbal contract about how Yul Brynner's character Carson is going to help them and fight and blah blah blah. So Carson, Yul Brynner's character, has a real conversation with Max von Sydow, telling him, I really don't know how long I'm going to stay, but I'll stay for as long as I can because I'm going to North Carolina. There's an island there, which must be like fucking Hatteras. It's the only island I know. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, and why would you go there? I mean, it's just like there's hurricanes all the time. But anyway, any crops that you're going to grow are going to fucking get destroyed that way. But I'm playing too much into that. So he has a conversation with Max von Sydow saying he needs to go to North Carolina. He'll stay for a little while. Max von Sydow has this great idea of, well, maybe you go with my daughter for my grandson, and maybe some other people can go with you. And Yul Brynner doesn't immediately say no, but you could tell he's not thrilled about the idea. So, the thing of it is, Yul Brynner's character, you could tell at some point where he's just like, man, what the fuck did I get myself into? It's like, I'm just constantly just getting into this shit here.
Right, and I feel like there must have been that kind of stuff happening before they said you can't make him unlikable. Yeah, seriously, it's you could. I just feel like somebody's hand reaching into this film and saying no. You could just like feel how awkward it is, and how much of an empty hole it is without it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Von Sydow's gonna he knows that the people there aren't gonna leave because they're stupid, so he's gonna sneak them out. So they do. The people in his group find out. They beat the Baron to death with sticks. It happens.
Who knew?
And Carrot, who knew? And then Carrot.
Well, prior to that, there's somebody stealing vegetables, and you get a little taste. But here's the thing: they preface the Baron's death with what the crowd is capable of doing, because one person is stealing vegetables and basically frames another person for it. So Max von Sydow has to make that decision of, feed him to the streets, or let the streets have him. And he lets the crowd do that. They strip him of his clothing, they beat him up, and they throw him out into the street.
No.
So they preface the Baron.
Hold on.
Well,
hold on.
Shoes.
They do not strip him of his clothing. They take off his shoes, but then they put a orange jacket with bells on him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, and Holly was watching, and she glanced up and she said, "Are they dressing him like Michael Jackson? What's going on?" So I think they are. And then later it's like, oh, they're bells, but it's still an orange jacket. They could have just put the bells on him.
Well,
yeah.
So they preface the Baron's death with what this crowd, his community, is capable of doing.
Well, it's an undertone that you normally get in a post-apocalyptic film.
Well, sure.
Which is that society crumbles the moment there's any kind of confusion, strife, conflict, and that plays out in the background of the film.
But I truly think that that's the only reason why that scene exists.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, why even have the side story of someone stealing? It's so minuscule as far as the plot goes.
You know what it is too? It's also a reason to have the one character who was stealing the tomatoes in the first place overhear the conversation about the seeds, so he can be interviewed
Carrot's group,
by Carrot, who then who finds out the information that they have seeds. Carrot wants more tomatoes. That's it.
So they go and they kidnap the botanist. Except they don't do a very good job of that. Yeah,
they don't. They didn't even know about the botanist.
Well, no.
They just went to steal the vegetables. He was there accidentally.
No, I thought they found out that he...
No. They found out after he was dead.
Oh. For some reason, I don't know. I thought that they knew that he was the guy.
Oh, that would make so much more sense, and there'd actually be some kind of intrigue. No. They were just stealing tomatoes, and they killed him accidentally.
It's like, you don't kill the guy that's good at growing shit.
Yeah, they didn't know. They just knew that they didn't know he had seeds until after the fact. That's what I'm saying. This guy, it's just a convoluted process to make sure.
He's a great strategist.
Yeah, so they just need to get information from A to B so they can follow them to C, which is the third act, which is just Yul Brynner running through a subway.
Yeah, with a knife.
And it's actually less suspenseful than the third act of Westworld. I felt like it was in the same movie. It's like, oh, now here's the long tunnel, and now he's running down the tunnel, and now he's coming down the hallway. And it's like, oh, and now he's at the station. Oh, just what the fuck? It's slow. Yeah. And one by one, he's killing these people. You know what?
Max von Sydow at one point says that Carrot could overtake his community at any time. He said he doesn't have as many men, he doesn't have as many people, and Carrot could get as many as 40 people in an instant if he wanted. But Yul Brynner, and I'm going with what you just said, Yul Brynner is killing them one at a time. It's like, I don't care how ultimate of a warrior you are, 30 people charge you, you're not getting out of that. Yeah, you might get a few people, but you're not getting out of that. I'm sorry. I don't care how fucking ultimate you are. It's not happening.
And I can't say that I like what writer-director Robert Klaus did in this, because there are some scenes here. Just the one thing in the subway that bothered me is that he takes the Baron's daughter one side tunnel, this one like room offshoot where there's some skeletons, and as they go in, Yul Brynner stops and takes a good 5 or 10 seconds to stare at this coat rack in the tunnel. Right. Just so that 5 minutes later, when there's a fight scene, he can impale a guy on it, and we'll understand that he knew it was there. So what the fuck is this? Why are we setting this up? It's ridiculous.
He's like, what could I use in this room? Yes.
Look.
I'm glad
the only thing on the wall in this tunnel, as far as I can see in either direction. Let me just look at it for a second, because I think I can impale somebody on that if the timing was right. Meanwhile, there's like 3-foot wrenches hanging off of the fucking thing. It's like, I got a knife. I don't need another weapon, but I can impale somebody on that fucking wicked. Come on.
I have a screenshot of it.
And then, well, what else is there after that? Well, my favorite part, Carrot finally confronts Carson at the end after he's killed off all of his other men at this one station, subway station, and Carrot pulls out his master weapon, a metal ball on a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when Jackie Chan grabs the rope with the horseshoe in what's the Western one?
Yeah, it's the one with Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
The fuck is that called?
All I can think of is fucking Rush Hour. That robbed everything out of my brain.
I'm gonna figure this out before I finish typing.
Oh, it's killing me. I always forget now.
It's like there's
Rush
an
Hour
H in there. Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai. That's right. Because Shanghai Nights was the sequel.
That's right.
But in Shanghai Noon, when he does that with the horseshoe, you're like, uh-oh. And then he does some like really wacky shit with it.
Yeah.
When Carrot drops the ball, you're like, oh, martial arts time's coming. And no, he's not like the schoolgirl from Kill Bill. He just swings the fucking thing. Oh, look out here! He's like, no fancy stuff. You're just gonna swing the.
They don't even do anything kind of cool. Like you hear it like piercing the wind, and it's making like a sound. They don't even do that.
You know what? Put a knife at the end of that fucking thing. All right, maybe a brick. Come on.
Well, that's what Tarantino did in Kill Bill.
That's what I'm saying. That's I just referenced.
Oh.
I just referenced that.
You did. I'm a bit under the weather. I apologize.
Oh, no excuse for that. Sorry.
There is no excuse for it. You're right.
That's his big weapon, and somehow he gets the upper hand on Knife Guy with the ball rope.
Well, first of all, before we even get to that scene, the scene before that is Yul Brynner is delivering this woman's baby with that knife. Like, that knife is versatile.
Yeah.
You know, cut an apple with it, cut your steak, kill people with it, deliver a baby, So, when he's delivering that baby, and it's the fake baby covered in blood and just like goop, I'm like, that's a dead baby. But he didn't cut the umbilical cord yet, so the baby didn't start crying.
Right.
So he does that, and you hear that in the distance that the baby starts crying. So that scene signified that the baby was alive and it was a successful delivery. So, and she's like, "You have to tie it in a knot." It's like, that's right, because they don't have those little clip things that they do nowadays.
You tied it in a knot. I got to go kill Carrot.
Now, if he was a man, he would have bit that thing off like in threads.
Fucking Carrot comes out. Just like Yul Brynner to bring a knife to a rope and ball fight.
So Yul Brynner, Carson, is fighting with Carrot, and at one point, before that scene happens, he finds this tunnel, not tunnel, but this 20-foot drop, this shaft. Yeah, just talking about shaft. And he throws somebody down there, so he knows it exists. So he kind of is kind of dancing around in this fight to kind of get him to where he wants, so that he would fall down this shaft. The only problem is the rope wraps around his hand. Now, the problem I have with this scene is that this rope is wrapped around in such a way that he could have just twisted his arm a couple of times and it would have unraveled. Now,
yeah, you think that, but it was biting in.
But he gets an axe, and he just starts like terribly swiping, at this rope to try and cut it, and he's doing a terrible job. He doesn't have his knife, so he can't just cut the rope. But what could he use? Because apparently the axe is sharp enough, because you find out later why it's sharp enough. He could have just put the axe underneath the rope and just sliced it as one would with a knife.
But I have a feeling it was like metal rope.
I don't think so. Is
that a thing?
It looked like rope.
But no. I feel like they were playing it off as like metal rope.
But it wasn't. If that's what they were trying to achieve, they used rope. It absolutely was rope. It was way too the color and the way it was flexible. When he drops the ball and it hits the ground, there's a knot, and the end of that knot is frayed the way thread frays when you cut rope. It was absolutely rope.
Okay. So
he could have threw the axe right at fucking Carrot's face, and he probably would have let go of the rope. I mean, there's so many other options that could have been done instead of cutting your own hand off.
Axe to the head. I don't know why I didn't. That would have been masterful. But I think as soon as I saw the axe, I knew he was going to cut his hand off, so I was kind of resigned to that. But axe to Carrot, I definitely think he could have reached Carrot.
He could have taken off his shoe and threw it at his face, and he probably would have let go. There's so many options that could have been done instead of cutting your own hand off. But whatever.
Not a good film.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's you can definitely see why this film does not come up when people talk about Yul Brynner.
It doesn't come up when you even just talk about post-apocalyptic films either. Or if you look up 1975. This movie was made in 1975 because I triple-checked. I wanted to be sure. And in the opening credits, it actually has the year at the bottom is 1975. So it is a film from 1975, but it was not released theatrically in the U.S. until 1976. So that just goes to show, that they were, even back then, 43 years ago, 44 years ago, they were trying to sell this film, and they were having a hard time. So.
And I can see why. Yeah. And really, I mean, this is really it for Yul Brynner. After this, he's in Future World really only as a flashback, and then he's in Death Rage, and then shortly after that, Cancer.
Yeah, from smoking.
I hear you have cigars. Ooh, that came back to bite him.
There's actually quotes, and they have a bunch of them on his IMDb page, where Yul Brynner had, he was diagnosed with lung cancer and all that, and he basically said, had I known, because nobody, when he was acting, early in the days, nobody knew cigarettes were bad for you. They would show commercials for that. It would just be like, smoke Chesterfield. It's good for you. You will love the taste. So like nobody knew.
4 out of 5 doctors agree.
Yeah. So nobody knew it was bad for you. So that was at a time when everybody smoked. So he had said, had he known, and this is what people say, had he known, he would have never smoked a day in his life. But, you know, once you start smoking, a lot of times it's hard to quit. So,
right.
So anyway, I mean, I got nothing else.
You know, and I just want to correct that. I kind of implied that his career ended because of cancer.
No.
After like those 2 films, the 75, 76. But no, he was playing The King and I, you know, touring, doing that. He just stopped making fucking films because, you know, look at the shit he was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go do The King and I. Yeah.
So the film, I have nothing else for this movie. I mean,
I expressed most of my qualms about it, really. Yeah. No seeds, dead baby, knife guy, basically.
Knife guy.
Yeah.
He's a real knife guy.
No character arc whatsoever for the main character of the film. Huge fucking mistake. That's one of the reasons why no one remembers this film.
No, we always talk about movies. We always talk about movies that should get remade or movies that would be good as a remake. I could see them remaking this and doing things differently. No.
Well, what's to do differently? Just make a different apocalyptic post-apocalyptic film.
Yeah. No. Well, no.
There's nothing post-apocalyptic.
What I'm getting at is, you know, specifically a remake where the title name stays the same and this is a remake.
But there's nothing worth in this film worth making. There's no concept in this film that is original enough to say, hey, we should like steal that. You know, let's just do a post-apocalyptic film. We'll come up with something better. There's nothing here.
There's nothing.
It's bland. There's not. 2 gangs are fighting. One guy.
You know what's
funny?
Guy
named Carrot is like the biggest thing.
You know what's funny about? I'm watching this film and I'm getting, because up until 2 years ago, I watched The Walking Dead. I don't watch it anymore because it has totally jumped the shark. But one of the things that The Walking Dead did well when it was doing things well was the story arc, the human aspect of these people trying to survive, and the human gangs or communities trying to destroy one another because they're either trying to get their shit or they're trying to just survive in some way. And I had flashbacks of The Walking Dead when watching this film, because for all the shit that The Walking Dead has done, that was one of the things that it did well. When it was doing well, it's not a good show anymore. It's a terrible show now. It is totally lived past its prime. So whereas
much like this film did.
Yeah. So much where you were with the show when it first started, I am now with you, but like 6 seasons later. Anyway, so this is a 5.7 on IMDb. You
know what? This film's a solid 5. This is the epitome of a 5 film.
Yeah, it's the epitome of average.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if it was interesting. That's the bad part about it. Oh, sure. I didn't mention the one thing that I thought was weird.
What's that?
When they get to the subway station, the last thing I want to mention, they come across the gates, and the turnstiles are all clogged with the skeletons of people that were piled up trying to get out.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's fucking cool. I love this. This is great. And like, I'm just watching, and then I'm slowly sinking in. So I thought a plague took away the vegetables. What were all these people running from? What the fuck? You know, that's what I expected to be in like a bomb shelter and everybody's trying to get out. It's like, what is this? You know, what is there a totally different? It's a great visual until you realize that this was a slow burn apocalypse and there's there was supposedly wasn't anything happening. If there was something that happened to cause that, then it's just confusing. Just don't do it.
It's a cool shot. It's a cool shot.
Unless you're trying to do something like...
Well...
What?
No, go ahead. I
was saying it's a great shot. It shows dead people. It's apocalypse. But, I mean, if you're actually conscious of what caused apocalypse, like this wouldn't happen. But if you want to do something strange, like you're walking through the street and just come across a pile of skeletons in the center, it's like, ooh, something happened here. I don't want to know what it is. Let's keep moving. That I'd get. But this was a bit too perfect for the visuals, but with not making any sense in the narrative.
Right.
That's all.
It's a shot in the movie that I would, if I were making film, if I was an influence to someone making film, it would be a shot that I would recycle. Almost like an homage.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like an homage, and it'd be like, listen, there was this film called The Ultimate Warrior. It had this great shot. We should totally use that for our film, and we'll make it work.
See, don't remake this film. Just steal from it, please. That's it. There's
Whatever
nothing else to do.
Can be stolen.
Right. So that's a solid 5.
Solid
already
5.
Rated.
All right, good.
Yes.
All right.
Now,
challenge
so
for
your
me.
challenge. Yes.
Can I get a hint?
The film... Well, all right. The film I wanted to do that I came across there's actually a Jan Michael Vincent film called White Line Fever about truckers.
Oh, boy.
I know, right? Jan Michael Vincent in a trucker film in the 70s. Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. So
what's it called? White Line Fever?
White Line Fever. I was not able to find it. If you can find it, I would love to challenge you to that.
All right, just give me a hot second.
All right. Now,
and that's 1975, obviously.
Yes. Now, barring that, I do have a film I want to challenge you to with that not an option. And it's a horror film because I don't think we've been doing a lot of horror films so far on this yearly challenge. We've been doing a lot of sci-fi, but not as much horror.
That is true.
Horror.
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 Horror?
Horror.
Horror.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I have one more place I can look. And then that's kind of it.
So I looked, and I was like, this is not a film that anyone wants to remember. So...
Yeah, I can get it.
Really?
Yep. As a matter of fact, I will... This will only take about 15 seconds to get.
Cool.
So
if you got that, then that's the challenge.
Let me see if this is legit. I'll let you know in about 5 seconds.
In the 1970s Arizona, a young married man becomes an independent long-haul driver, and he risks his life fighting the corruption in the long-haul trucking industry.
This is an HD copy of the movie, too, by the way.
Oh, you're shitting me.
No.
No.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh.
I will...
this is why you're my hero.
I'll send it to you. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right now. So what was the horror film?
Currently... What
was the horror film if we couldn't get this?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, good. Because I'm sure we'll review it. Because I don't know if I'm taking this out of 75.
This looks horrible, and it has an inconceivable rating on IMDb of 6.2.
What? No way.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm checking Rotten Tomatoes because I got to see what the Rotten Tomato score is. Audience score 52% on Rotten Tomato. No tomato meter.
All right, I sent you what you need to get it.
Now, I'm pretty sure this is an actual film that came out in the theater. We need to confirm that too because that's part of our
White Line
challenge
Fever?
rules. Yeah.
You know what? Let me. I'll tell you what. I saw like a little TV spot snippet. It looks like a TV movie, but a lot of stuff from the 70s does. Let's see. July.
Box office budget. Well,
It came out in the U.S. July of 1975. So, yes,
All right.
it was released theatrically.
let me just throw this out there. The budget is 1.4 million Canadian.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And when did it come out?
July 1975. They tried to.
This was a summer
They
film.
tried to sell it as a summer movie. It came out August 1st in Canada.
Well,
Does
I
it-
mean,
does it
I'm
have
trying to-
any-
Jan Michael Vincent. Was he? I'm trying to think. Was he doing Airwolf yet? Or
No.
that was like
No, that was
80s,
80s,
right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 80s.
All right, because I mean, he wasn't really like a box office draw that you'd have him headlining a summer film. You know?
Yeah, no,
Right?
no, not really.
No. I mean, he'd already been in the world's greatest athlete. That was
Jesus
73.
Christ. Okay, here you go. And I know I should save this for next week, but I have to say it now. 1.4 million budget Canadian. It made $35 million.
Holy shit.
That's a hit. A $1.4 million budget makes $35 million. That's a fucking hit. That's a big hit. I mean, you always can say, you got movies like Jaws, things like that making $260 million and things like that. But as far as budget and return, $35 million, it's a big fucking deal. Damn. Directed by Jonathan Kaplan. What else has he done?
I just didn't realize that Jan Michael Vincent was in the Banana Splits.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
They made that horror movie called The Banana Splits. Just came out. You know what? I haven't watched it yet, but now that you said that, I have to see if there's any Jan Michael Vincent, if there's any nods to him, pictures, any references.
It'd be great if for the opening next week, instead of the trailer to White Line Fever, you played the Jan Michael Vincent clip from Rick and Morty. Because I love that every time.
Which has started up again, by the way.
Already saw the first episode.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude.
We only get half of them before they go on hiatus.
I heard about that.
We're only getting 5 of the 10.
They're on track.
Yeah?
It's right up there. I was concerned. It's like, all right, they have a high bar. They cleared a bar in the first episode.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll watch it right after we're done.
All right. I have to pack as soon as we're done, so we should wrap.
You have to pack.
I have to pack.
You got a business trip?
No, pleasure trip.
Ooh, good for you.
We're driving to Colorado.
Nice.
Yes.
Living the high life.
Gonna see a bird cage statue.
Is that what's happening?
All
right.
It's up there.
Let's...
It's a monument to the. I'm getting the echo now.
No, because I'm ending the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that. All right, everybody. Sound issues always. We are always happy that you join us every week. Go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download, listen, join us live every week at 8 o'clock on Thursdays. Hang out with us. We'd love to have you. You can go to iTunes and you can download or listen to the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we post from when we go live to trailers to just about anything that fancies us goes there. You can go to our Tumblr page at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. If you want to email us, the address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic. If you want to leave us voicemail, themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, it's 908-514-4470. If you email us or leave us voicemail, we'll play it on the show. And you can download the Android app for your Android device. It's 100% free. Everything I said is in the app. You should definitely get it. It's worth it. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Never bring a torch to a knife fight.
There you go. Never. It's a stupid move.
Rookie.
Amateurs.
Mistake.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
White line fever! I
Still love our theme music. You can't hear.
Shh, I'm trying to listen.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bow, bow, digga, bow, digga, bow, digga, bow, 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 digga, bow, boo doo 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 doo.
I just, every time we open the show, I'm like, shit, we really need to redo this opening. It's like 5 years old.
Why? It's perfect.
It needs, it at the very minimum, we can make the exact same opening, but it needs to at least now be...
Oh, the video part.
It
oh,
needs
yes,
to...
yes.
No. The audio. I'm not talking about the audio. I'm talking about the video part.
Really?
We can make the
Yeah.
exact same one. It just needs to be in HD now.
Yeah, you're right.
The format,
I
the
got it.
aspect ratio, it's all off. It's all wrong. We're better than that,
right.
man. We're better.
Yeah.
And now I'm rambling. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.